Chris, what is our first main topic today?
Our first topic is going to come from Eric Foligno. Hi, John. With May ending to the huge success of Top Gun Maverick, I wanted to ask about June. There are a few big films coming out, and I was hoping you and the team could list and rank for us what movies you're most interested in and anticipating. If you could only pick one movie to see this month, which one would it be? Thanks, and bring on the filthy.
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in. And yes, it is Norman Osborn Day, is the end of May. So we are moving into June, and as we like to do around here, we're going to kind of talk about the movies that we are looking forward to in June. Now look, June is not as packed as a couple of the previous months have been, or a couple of the upcoming months have been, but there's some pretty good gold in there. Now, look, I should also mention here, as we're previewing what's coming out, we are only going to be mentioning the films that are getting wide release. There's not a lot of point in us talking about some of the films that you're not going to have playing anywhere near you. So we're going to kind of focus on the ones that are getting wide releases here. And we're going to start off with this. There's 5 big ones this month. 5 big wide releases we're going to talk about this month. One of them coming out on June 3rd is this little film that's getting, unfortunately, almost no marketing, called Watcher.
Oh, this looks so creepy.
It looks creepy as hell. Mm-hmm. And it's got really good critic responses. It's got north of 80% on Rotten Tomatoes already. Very good critic responses. Basic idea is this. This actress and her boyfriend move into an apartment in some new town, and she always sees what she believes is somebody across the way in another building always looking into their apartment. And the paranoia that starts to create, and it just starts to unravel this huge chain of dominoes. The trailer is actually quite thrilling. Now, I've not seen the film, and I've seen very, very little marketing for it, like other than this one trailer. But it does look pretty damn slick. So The Watcher is one that comes out on June 3rd. All right, June 10th. As we move 1 week further, we now get into June 10th, and that's when we start looking at Jurassic World Dominion. I ain't gonna lie. I am ridiculously excited for this movie. I have been...
What's it about?
Well, a dinosaur moves into an apartment. No, I have been... My excitement for Jurassic World Dominion has been tempered. It's like, hey, it's a Jurassic World movie. I like all the Jurassic World movies. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Cool. But for whatever reason, I've been getting the bounty of my excitement overfloweth. I'm really, really getting there. And I think, I think it was, Rob? I think it was ever since that one trailer with that one shot that you talk about a lot, where the dude's riding horses with a herd of dinosaurs running across the open plain.
Yeah, one that got Bobby emotional.
I got emotional.
Yeah.
But there was something that just felt, I don't know, holistic about the whole damn thing, right? And then, of course, some square in Italy with Tyrannosaurus Rexes running around eating people. I'm watching this and what is there not to love? You got the original cast back, all that kind of stuff. So I, for one, am actually pretty stoked about this thing. And you know what? I almost forgot that it's really upon us. I feel like Jurassic World was coming out soon for the past 3 years.
Me too.
But it's actually now here. We're under 2 weeks away from it. So it's coming out. Where's your anticipation level for this one right now?
Well, look, since I was a little kid, there's been nothing cooler than dinosaurs eating people. I mean, that's one of those, those one, that's one of those things that is deep in my soul. And finally, this is a movie where dinosaurs are running around. I mean, look, I like the end of The Lost World, Tyrannosaurus in San Diego. That was cool. Mm-hmm. But there wasn't enough people eating. And it was at night, and they were hiding it in the darkness. This broad daylight, dinosaurs are running around. They clearly are cultured because they're in Europe, so they're going into the ancient cities, motorcycles riding through. I mean,
they only eat the finest people.
Yeah, they're like Hannibal Lecter. They eat. And look, I am so, and you see it when he comes out in the motorcycle in the square, and the poor dude's running. Dinosaur just grabs the guy and eats him. And then there's dinosaurs attacking airplanes. I mean, John, this movie doesn't have to be about anything. All it needs to do is show me dinosaurs running around the Great Plains of America with people riding on horses and people getting eaten in Europe. And that's pretty much, that's all I want out of my summer movie-going experience.
Chris, I don't know how you top that.
And a redhead, Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah,
so.
it ticks all your boxes. Yeah. I'm so excited about this. Dr. Ian Malcolm is the first live action man I ever fell in love with.
Wow.
I was so in love with
generation.
him. Yeah, like so many people. And this movie gives me him. I got Ellie back, and I've got a raptor at the Vatican. Like, this is perfect. This is
Raptor
wonderful.
at the Vatican could be either a great punk song or a great punk
That sounds
band.
like an
That's
asylum
gonna be a band
ripoff
name.
title.
Yeah.
For Silent
There's
Studios.
Raptor Priest or something like that, right? Or
Yeah,
Raptor
yeah,
Pastor?
yeah.
The Raptor Pastor.
Yeah.
Don't laugh, man. That's for real. The Raptor Pastor was for real. All right. So that's on June 10th. Now let's fast forward to the next week of June 17th.
Dude,
And that's when we're getting Lightyear.
come on.
Now look, they showed us, like, we were stunned when we were at CinemaCon and the president of pictures came out and he said, so now, ladies and gentlemen, this part of our presentation, we would like to show you the first 30 minutes of Lightyear. We're like, wait, what? Like, we were expecting to see a scene, a clip, maybe the first 10 minutes. We're going to show you the first 30 minutes of Lightyear. So they did that. They put it out. They showed us the first 30 minutes. There was laughing. There was crying.
So much crying.
There was gasping. There was, I mean, it was such a good first 30 minutes that it prompted me, you guys will remember this, that when we went back to the hotel room to do our, Comic-Con or CinemaCon coverage video, I said, and I'm going to stand by this until I see the movie and it says otherwise. I said this, I'm calling it right now. Lightyear will become the fourth animated film in history to be nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards. It's only happened 3 times before, but based on just the first 30 minutes, I'm telling you, I think this is going to be the fourth. It just had everything. Chris, we got it now. It's like less than 3 weeks away. We're going to get to finally see the full thing.
I'm so excited.
Why are you excited for Lightyear?
Oh, the first 30 minutes of this were amazing. And I mean, we've talked about this on the show. It's not a huge spoiler or anything. The opening moment of this, right, in 1994, Andy had some toys. He got a Buzz Lightyear based on his favorite movie. This is that movie,
Yeah,
right?
it was perfect.
And it hits all those nostalgia buttons for anyone who grew up watching the Toy Story films, but also it's just great sci-fi. It is
Yeah.
a compelling, excellent, heartfelt sci-fi film where I am way too invested in everybody already 30 minutes in. Like, there are certain characters where if anything happens to them, I will lose it. Oh, it's going to be amazing.
This is how good the first 30 minutes were. I don't know if you knew this, I am not a cat guy.
Yeah.
I am not a cat guy. Other than Buzz. The cat is the best character in this movie.
So good.
You are going to love this cat because if I can love a cat, you can love a cat.
true.
But anyway, Rob, what were you thinking about Lightyear?
I feel I have to echo both of your sentiments. My esteemed colleagues are correct. The last thing in the world that I expected was to literally uncontrollable tears falling from my eyes. I did not expect that at all. There's a scene, I'm not going to say what it is, but it was a very, very, it packed an emotional wallop, as they say.
Yeah.
And it was so earned. And it was also, it did so in a sci-fi way. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how, I was so embarrassed because I was crying more than I normally do. Like I literally couldn't.
People were weeping in this
couldn't help
auditorium.
myself. It was one of those
Like,
things where it really got me in a certain way, and I'm like trying to not, it's okay.
John asked if I was okay at one point.
oh no! It's like you okay? It's like-
And when I say that, I mean this movie is a action adventure, very buoyant, funny, emotional film. So I'm not saying it's like this. It's not some cry fest. It's not The Notebook for dudes.
But it's Pixar.
You know, it
Pixar
is.
always makes you cry.
But it was so great because it was in a science fiction context, and it was something that only a science fiction context could do, but it did it in that way. And those Pixar people, they know, man, they know. But it was also the worst moment in my life when those 30 minutes ended.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
and then we're like, back on the screen.
Because
what are you doing?
you're so into it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, then the screen goes black. All right, so that is June 17th. That's Lightyear. Guys, we want to take just a minute and thank the sponsor of this video, Masterclass. Masterclass is offering classes on a wide variety of topics, like all taught by world-class masters at the absolute tops of their field. Each class is broken down out into individual video lessons, usually like around 10 minutes or so long, and members can explore at their own pace. And each class is supported by downloadable materials, lessons, recipes, or more that you can all find at masterclass.com. For example, are you into streaming? Well, you can take the Building Your Streaming class taught by ninjas so you can sharpen up on your streaming skills. Or if you're interested in independent filmmaking, take independent filmmaking from Academy Award winner Spike Lee. You want to get classes on how to direct? How about from Ron Howard? The very first one I personally looked up and got into was Business Leadership by the great Big Papa Iger, Bob Iger himself. And I was absolutely enthralled with it. I love every single minute of this stuff. If any of those apply to you, you need to try Masterclass. So I highly recommend that you check it out. Get unlimited access to every Masterclass, and as a John Campea Show viewer, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/Campea. Once again, to get 15% off your annual membership, go to masterclass.com/Campea.
Hold on, John.
Are we about to make a box office bet?
How sure of you are you that this is going to get Best Picture?
I can't. Not until I see the movie in its entirety. I'm just basing that in the first 30 minutes.
All right, before you go on, Dante Sarakia wrote in, member for 3 months. He said, "Hey, Campea Campers, I just want to say thank you for everything. I love this show, and all of you keep up the excellent work."
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that,
thanks,
man.
Dante.
All right. Now let's fast forward to the following week after Lightyear for a movie that we didn't see the first 30 minutes of at CinemaCon, but rather we saw the whole damn thing. And that is the new Handsome Hawk movie, The Black Phone. All right. They had showed us a preview of The Black Phone at the previous CinemaCon. So Aaron and I were there, and they showed us this like 5-minute preview of it at the previous CinemaCon. We're like, this looks really good. And then they showed us the whole movie. Now, Chris ducked out because she had another function to be at CinemaCon.
Yeah.
That went great.
And also, I'm a huge wimp.
This other
you wouldn't have had
function
a
she
good
went
time.
to was great. She had a great
It was
time.
great.
At
It was fun.
So we went in to go see The Black Phone. This might be my favorite Ethan Hawke movie.
Whoa.
Ever?
It might be.
More so than the Before trilogy?
Yeah. I know. Listen, I'm not. Do not hold me to this. I need to think on it more. This another Blumhouse, made for pocket change, little horror movie, right? That looks like it's going to come and go. I was more impacted by this movie than it had any business impacting me.
Yep.
Like, I'm watching this film and I'm like, not only is it a great little horror movie, right? It's just, I'm invested in these kids. And I got to tell you, the first little bit of the film, I was not. Like the first 10 minutes of it, I'm like, this is corny, whatever. But then it turns a corner pretty quickly in the first act. And all of a sudden, I'm getting this community and I'm getting these characters. And then, oh my God, once you get into the situation that the whole movie is built around, the tension in this thing is palpable. I don't know if you guys know this, Aaron Cummings doesn't do all that great with horror films, but I saw she was literally, it's hard for me to explain, but she was literally acorned up. Like both of her knees right up in her chin, in this theater seat, arms wrapped around, kind of half covering her eyes, and I couldn't help myself. I could not help myself. There's this moment of really big intensity because she's like at times crying. She's so scared. But there was this 1 minute of big tension where everything's quiet. And I just go, yeah, to her. The phrase jumped out of her skin has never been more appropriate than at this moment. And she was so mad. She like literally turned around and started freaking Mike Tysoning my. I was like, you son of a bitch. I was like, Jane, you could hear people around us laughing. But anyway, guys, seriously, I'm not a huge horror movie guy. Like I like a horror movie as much as anybody. This movie is great. You got to look forward to this. What's the date of it again? June 24th. Make sure you guys check it out. Rob, June 24th, this thing's coming out. It feels like it's been a while since we've seen the movie already.
Yeah.
But would you recommend it for people?
Well, this is, again, Scott Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill who wrote it,
Yep.
teaming up. They came off of Doctor Strange. They didn't do the new Doctor Strange. this to me, as a lifelong horror fan, I love seeing that people still know how to go back and do great low budget horror and scare the heck out of you. Because I mean,
Chris is not having it.
This film was a lot of fun. It delivered on its premise. It was really surprising and truly scary, and the audience really responded to it. It was a lot of fun, and it was unique. And I love the fact that people could still make great low budget horror that can succeed in a theater. We saw it. I mean, that was a packed house.
Yeah.
You know, at CinemaCon, there was hundreds of people in that audience.
There were thousands of people.
There were thousands of people in the audience, and man, they dug it, and I loved it. I want to see it again. You know, I want to take some people. I'm going to take Elizabeth to go see this, and I think she'll dig it. I'm excited.
Chris?
You have such a different idea of fun than me, man. But that's movies, right? People have different taste. I love that you loved this. I can't wait to not watch this so hard. When I came back to the hotel, Erin was like, you would have been mortified. She just was like, you could not see this movie. I was crying. You would have just like been throwing up and left. So
there's no eye violence though.
Oh, that's good.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll be okay there.
I can deal with that.
Not a lot of eye violence. Ray, you saw
how
the movie
scary
with
can a
us.
phone be?
I actually really love this movie. I think we got the best screenings ever, like at CinemaCon.
Yeah, because we got that in
movie-wise.
Top Gun. They showed us the full Top Gun and the black phone.
So where we were staying, we had the room all the way at the end of the hallway. So after we watched this movie, I was like, Rob, come on, let's go back to the room. I don't want black phone to get me.
I don't want the black phone to get.
Well, we had to walk down that really long, very shining-esque corridor.
Yeah. Our hallways
And
were
our doors
creepy.
at the very end of the hallway, you know.
And then every now and then you'd see like on the all the way at the other side, like I bet you it was like the people who were cleaning the rooms. The door would close all the way at the other end as soon as you walked out, and then I'll be like, oh, maybe I'll wait a little bit.
maybe I'll wait.
But the
Maybe I'll
movie
wait
was
just a little
good.
bit.
I think everyone should see it.
Yeah, it was really good.
It's really
All right.
good.
A lot of fun.
So that is June 24th. But there's another premium movie opening on June 24th that they showed us like 10 plus minutes of footage. And that is the new Baz Luhrmann film, Elvis.
Man.
And there's a lot of people talking about Elvis and this movie. Right now, very strong, 80+% on Rotten Tomatoes. Everything they have shown us about this movie has looked utterly fantastic, right? But classic to Baz Luhrmann's style, his style is not going to be for everybody.
Right.
One of his films, Moulin Rouge, is one of my personal top 20 favorite films of all time. Moulin Rouge to me is just what movie making is all about. It's all about movie magic. But it's not for everybody.
Right.
I wanted to read this because this to me is funny. This is the review, the opening of the review for Elvis, done by one of my favorite outlets, IndieWire.
I read it. Okay, I'm glad you're reading this.
Because
I read this review.
Well, I love what we've seen so far from Elvis, and it's getting very strong reviews. Again, it's not for everybody, and that's fair. Like our reviewer over here at IndieWire who wrote the following. It doesn't matter if you do 10 stupid things, so long as you do one smart one. Colonel Tom Parker advises us near the start of Baz Luhrmann's utterly deranged musical biopic about the king of rock and roll. But even a ratio that forgiving would still leave Elvis roughly 370 smart ones short. If only this 159-minute eyesore, a sadistically monotonous super montage in which a weird Flemish guy manipulates some naive young greaser over and over and over again until they both get sad and die, were gracious enough to be as short in any other respect. Okay. I don't care how great I think this movie is. I will always love this movie review. Even if I think Elvis is the greatest film of all time, I will always cherish this movie review. Sounds great. Anyway, Chris, you saw all the footage for Elvis that we saw. Where's your anticipation level for it?
I mean, you know how much I loved Lightyear, and I'm excited to see the rest of that movie. This is my most anticipated film for June. And now with that review, I'm kind of more excited. Because if it is that, I'm going to be like, oh, this is great. Let's watch this dumpster fire. I love Baz Luhrmann, though, and I'm with you. Moulin Rouge is one of my all-time favorites. I think it's such a great film. I love him as a director. He's such a little weirdo.
By the way, his Romeo and Juliet is kind of underrated.
So
Not enough people
Totally
talk about
underrated.
Romeo and
Oh, my
Juliet.
Well,
gosh.
John, the review that you just read, there was a lot of people. I remember when Moulin Rouge came out, people are like, it's too many cuts. It's too
Yep,
fast.
yep.
And I was like, but that's, when I saw it, like you, I love Moulin Rouge. And I'm like, but that's why it's cool.
Yeah.
You know, the use of montage, the use of pop music and the way it was done, the camera was moving all over the place. I mean, as a pure piece of cinema, I loved it. And if that's what we're getting with Elvis, come on, dude.
Again, I just want to read that one line again. A sadistically monotonous super montage in which a weird Flemish guy manipulates some naive young greaser over and over until they both get sad and die. That's great writing right there. That is great writing. I don't care how good this movie is. That is some great writing. Anyway, guys, once again, that is Elvis coming out the 24th. So just to recap, here are the big ones to look out for this month. We got The Watcher on June 3rd. So that's coming out then. Let's bring that up on the screen there, Jonathan. So we got The Watcher on June 3rd. And then we've got Jurassic World Dominion coming out on June 10th, the following week. The week after that, by the way, these are 3 dynamite back-to-back weeks. Jurassic World Dominion on June 10th, Lightyear on June 17th, and then the very next week on the 24th, The Black Phone. And then I am very excited about checking out Elvis, even more so because of IndieWire's review, which is again so great. So let me ask you around here, fact checker Jonathan, let me start with you. Watcher, Jurassic World, Lightyear, Black Phone, Elvis. Which one's your most anticipated out of those ones?
I'm going to go with Elvis because I just love the history of rock and roll. And I do like Baz Luhrmann. I think Moulin Rouge is probably my favorite of his films. And then I'd say from there, maybe Black Phone, just because it's gotten such like killer reviews, especially by you guys have really loved it. Jurassic World, honestly, I'm checked out. And then Lightyear.
Ray, which of the 5 is the one you're looking forward to the most?
I thought we were together on this. Jurassic World.
When they started killing dinosaurs on that, I stopped watching the movie when the Brachiosaurus died on the goddamn docks.
That was heartbreaking.
Then I
That
stopped
was
watching
a
the movie, turned it off, I'm
traumatic,
out.
Yeah, it
moment.
was.
Yeah.
It's
So Ray,
it's
for you,
gotta
it's Jurassic World?
Jurassic, and then Black Phone, and then Lightyear.
Rob, which one are you looking forward to the most?
First of all, John, my number one is not any of these. And I'm very disappointed in you.
Oh, I know.
Is there
what
a
it
wide
is.
release that I missed?
I don't know how wide it is, but it opens this weekend. And it's a great Canadian kid, my favorite Canadian director,
Okay. I know
coming
we're-
off of his Cannes triumph, David Cronenberg's Crimes
Right.
of the Future.
Which is not a wide release, but that's why we didn't get it on
It
there.
is
Yes.
opening at our theater what we saw Spider-Man and Doctor Strange.
Right.
It's
Yeah, in
opening
Los
in
Angeles.
I'm going to the Riverside. What is it? What is that called?
The Tyler Galleria.
It opens on Thursday. I'm going, but I can't wait. But other than I can't believe you skipped over, even if it's not a wide release. It's a good Canadian kid. But no, I think that of these, I have to say Lightyear. Lightyear's probably the one I'm most excited about, only because of the emotional response I had to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to see a lot of people die at the hands of dinosaurs. I want to see chomping. I want to see blood. I want to see people being torn asunder and thrown all over the place.
Yeah.
Chris, which of these ones are you most excited about?
So Elvis just inches out Lightyear for me, especially after that review. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Then I'd have Lightyear. Way far, far away from me is Black Phone. What was the one about the woman who gets stalked?
Watcher.
Watcher. I think I actually will see that.
And that is a wide release, huh?
Yeah. That's
Yes.
wild.
Now, you guys keep talking about that for a second.
'Cause
I'm putting in a poll into the live chat.
That trailer, though, that Watcher trailer, I caught up with that trailer too. But I didn't realize it was a wide release.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it's a movie right up your alley.
It looks terrifying.
Yeah, well.
And it's every
I don't
woman's
understand.
fear
I
of just
don't-
being stalked.
Have you just never watched horror films?
No, I've seen them. Not all of them.
And they just don't work for you?
No, I don't like them.
Have you ever seen The Exorcist?
I have seen The Exorcist. I'm Catholic, man.
Well, that's one of the scariest movies ever.
It's terrifying. Logan makes fun of me all the time because I think the walking on her fingies is so horrifying.
That's in the director's cut.
Oh, it's awful.
All right. I'm going to let you guys know, for those of you watching live, I just put up a poll in the live chat for those of you who are watching live. And it's a very simple poll. It is simply asking, which movie are you most looking forward to? Now, I left, it only allowed me to put in 4 options, so I left out the Watcher. But we put in Black Phone, Lightyear, Jurassic World, and Elvis. So you guys can go into that and let us know which is the one you are most looking forward to. And guys, what do you think about the month of June? There's not a ton of wide releases this month, but some pretty high profile ones. For me, the one I'm most excited for people to see is the Black Phone. The one I'm most excited to see is Lightyear. That's the one for me. So what do you guys think? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.